PNC may have Congress this year, possibly. Rice production increases, and American company awarded whiptail subcontract. I am Rico Bolford, and this is Uncut News. Do you see news happening? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. The PNCR will soon begin discussions to host the party's biennial delegates Congress to elect a new leadership, according to the General Secretary. The party's Congress is due in December, and its General Council is due once every quarter. The Congress is expected to see the return of several long-standing members to the party, and there is speculation that several party members are gearing up to challenge Norton for the position of leader. According to a report by the IDB, Guyana's economy is on an upward trajectory due to the booming oil and gas sector, as well as heavy investment in non-oil and sustainable sectors such as agriculture. The unemployment rate has also declined from 15.6% to 14.5%, and the government aims to create 50,000 jobs by 2025. Guyana's GDP growth is expected to grow by 37.2% in 2023, with the arrival of the third FPSO vessel. The Court of Appeal is telling Jagdeo to quit stalling and pass any she money. The court has tossed out the vice president's attempt to appeal a high court ruling ordering him to pay opposition MP Annette Ferguson 20 million Ghana dollars in damages for libel. The ruling stems from several years ago when Jagdeo publicly accused Ferguson of misappropriation and other misdeeds in the acquisition of land and construction of her home in Region 4. While Ferguson was able to provide the state with a presumably legitimate paper trail for the purchase, Jagdeo has yet to offer any further evidence for his claims of malfeasance, instead choosing to throw Nandalal under the bus, saying that he had evidence, but Nandalal, his personal lawyer, was too busy on the 2020 campaign trail to submit said evidence on his behalf. Nonetheless, the High Court had ordered Jagdeo to pay damages of more than 2 years ago, and he had filed a series of court applications to challenge the ruling, all of which having been thrown out. Meanwhile, our nation's president has donated 2.5 million Ghana dollars towards the Rotary Club of Georgetown's restoration of the Red Cross's Children's Convalescent Home, which provides residential care and support for children aged 5 and under. The Rotary Club has been able to make several major repairs since the commencement of work on April the 1st of this year, and hopes to restore the home in its entirety and continue work with the Red Cross to make it self-sustaining. Research and development of new rice strains are improving productivity in Ghana, with rice production expected to rise by 12% this year. The introduction of the GRD B16 and the ongoing research of a biofortified zinc rice variety are credited for this. The biofortified rice variety with nutritionally enhanced zinc was recently harvested and is anticipated to provide farmers in Ghana with enormous relief. Rice is an essential source of livelihood in Ghana, accounting for 3.3% of the nation's total GDP and 20.5% of agriculture GDP.
Attention truck owners. Between potholes, bad drivers, and high fuel prices, you've got 99 problems to deal with. But with Powered Automotive, your engine ain't one. That's because they stock high-quality parts and spares you need at prices you can't beat. Visit them at Lot 491 EE Eccles, or call or WhatsApp them at telephone number 6970171. Save big on truck parts at Powered Automotive, the #1 heavy-duty truck parts store in Ghana. Tired of waiting on hold, tracking down a delivery driver, or carrying cash for your food orders? GT Eat is here to make your life easier. Ghana's first cashless food ordering and delivery app. Choose from Georgetown's top restaurants, pay securely with your card, and get your food delivered right to your doorstep. With the convenience of being able to order from your phone and the added feature of tracking your order, GT Eats is the ultimate solution for all your food needs. Download the app on Apple and Android stores and start ordering the easy way today.
Now for crime news. Family members are alleging gross neglect at the New Amsterdam Public Hospital in Bibis after a 22-year-old woman died on Sunday, having been sent home without treatment and told to return on Monday. The patient had to wait for over 2 hours to see a doctor on Saturday, and her family is outraged by the tragic outcome. The hospital has already determined that the young lady died from cardiac arrest, but the family is against an autopsy. Also in Bibis, several sugar workers were charged with various offenses in relation to their protests yesterday in East Kanji, including obstructing traffic, unlawful assembly, intent to cause terror, and damage to property. They pleaded not guilty to obstructing traffic and were granted self-bail, but the other offenses are indictable, and they were granted bail of $60,000 each. The workers are protesting against being transferred back to the Rose Hall estate and are demanding a severance, but the government has stated that they are not entitled to it since they were not severed when the sugar industry was downsized. 2 employees of St. Mary's Quarry, Vijay Lalmoni and Salandra Bukmahan, drowned in the Essequibo River while on their way to Bartica to purchase goods for their kitchen. Their bodies were found the next day, and it is suspected that they drowned after the boat was involved in an incident. Investigations are ongoing. The United States Army's 1st Security Force Assistance Brigade is currently working with the Guyana Defense Force to increase readiness by integrating at the tactical and operational levels. The exercise involves strategic planning sessions to enhance both countries' military readiness and capabilities to respond to various security threats, strengthening regional security, and counter transnational threats. Now for today's oil update. Oceaneering has been awarded 2 contracts worth over $100 million to work offshore Ghana for ExxonMobil and also in Angola. The contract for work on a jumper installation project offshore Ghana for Exxon adds to their growing body of work in the South American nation in support of a key client, being Exxon. The project consists of jumper and subsea field development installation and other associated tasks, with the scope of supply already underway and anticipated to last through the remainder of the year.
It might not be robbery season, but the streets are still mean. That's why you need to get security for your home and business through Sheriff Security Service. Sheriff Security offers well-trained guards, armed and unarmed patrol, marine patrol, canine services. These people even got drones. Why? Because your security is their highest priority. You've seen the rest, now hire the best. Hire Sheriff Security Service today.
Now for our Uncut News Field Poll Question of the Day. Every day we post a question on current events in Ghana, the region, the diaspora, and how you fit this to us. Last episode I asked, what can the government do to improve the lives of the indigenous people living in the hinterlands?
But before we get to that, I'm proud to announce our latest addition to the Noble Army, Richard Singh, who is supporting us at the reporter level, the highest level of monthly support we've received so far. So thank you, Richard Singh. And also, a special thank you to David Griffith, Dion Nascimento, Project Zero, and Dimitri V. I appreciate you all. And if you're watching at home and you'd like to support our movement, just hit the link in the video description.
Dimitri V says, well, it really comes down to what exactly they want in the hinterland, because people can live a sustainable and enjoyable life with minimal amenities. The things I agree that they should ask for: solar panels for the homeless, because the sun is the most abundant resource we have access to, better water, sanitation, and collection services, better medical support if they want to use that type of medicine, improvement on roadways for traveling, more cellular towers so it's easier to communicate long distance in case there's any issues that arise. I agree. Dopamine says, frankly speaking, this thing about Amerindians all living in squalor is just a freaking myth. Not saying we shouldn't respect them as the first people, but don't you think we're exaggerating a tad bit at times? Yes, obviously we shouldn't be encouraging certain infringements on their behalf, but come on, are the only people in need in this country are Afro and Indigenous Guyanese? Wow, thanks PPP/Jagdeo. Your voting pawns and political punching bags have their work cut out for them. And finally, Dopamine also makes a troubling observation regarding the nature of government, military, and ethnic power politics in Ghana. Frankly, I believe a whole academic study could be created out of those observations, especially when it comes to the ethnic balance of the defense forces, the business community, many different elements to it. It's seriously far more fascinating than any of us give it credit for being. I mean, objectively. Now for tonight's question. I want to know, what's a national concern that you believe is not getting enough attention? I want you to think about that question. Tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight, and check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Nico Pulford saying good night, folks.